Cheteshwar Pujara is someone who does tend to divide opinions when it comes to test cricket or his test cricket career, because on one hand, whilst a lot of people appreciate the kind of gritty, stubborn kind of batting that he brings, a lot of other people have also said that in recent times Pujara's form, despite all those traits, just hasn't been good enough, and that at times he does tend to struggle to accelerate his scoring rate, despite the fact that he does tend to possess all the shots and he does have the ability as well to score at a quick rate. More often than not, that doesn't tend to come to the fore, is what other critics say. But again, you can have these debates till the cows come home. The truth is that when it comes to recalling a player to a test team, then all that really matters is form, and Pujara quite clearly knows that very well, because in his first Ranji Trophy match of the season with Saurashtra taking on Jharkhand, he's only gone and done something that he has an absolute habit of doing: scoring a double ton in a match. Now, we'll delve into the statistical significance of this particular, let's say, innings in just a bit. We'll go over why it is that it's so important and the kind of records that he's broken, but we'll also delve into why it is that Pujara, by scoring runs the way he is actually putting himself in prime contention for yet another India recall. But first, let's look at the record. Now, as I said, he scored a double 100 in that game against Jharkhand. It was his 17th first-class double ton, and that number in itself is pretty noteworthy, but we'll get to why that's the case in just a bit. It's also not only his 17th first-class double ton, it's also the 8th time he scored a 200-plus score in the Ranji Trophy. So he's now got 8 Ranji Trophy double tons, and interestingly enough, 9 of those have come in other tournaments, including, of course, the county cricket, where he has played a lot of knocks. And beyond that, he's also scored 3 first-class triple tons. So it's not just double tons that he specializes in, but also triple tons, given that he's got 3 of them. Now, this was in many ways a record-breaking double ton for Pujara, because he ended up breaking or coming closer to breaking some noteworthy records and also establishing his own name in the record books in the process. First off, he is now 4th or joint 4th on the list for the most number of first-class double tons. On top of the list, of course, is the Don himself, Don Bradman, with his record of 37 double tons, still very much standing the test of time. Then, of course, we've got Wally Hammond, who had 36, just 1 less than the Don. Patsy Hendren with 22 being 3rd on that list, a record that Pujara realistically could target. But of course, as I said, joint 4th, and he's joined 4th with Herbert Sutcliffe at 17, as well as, of course, Mark Ramprakash, someone who, despite being an absolute colossus in domestic cricket, never quite got that long run for England that many probably believe he should have gotten. But again, Pujara is level with Ramprakash and Sutcliffe and could potentially come before the end of his career surpass Patsy Hendren for the most number of for the 3rd most number of double tons in first-class cricket history. But this ton, as I said, is not only noteworthy in the overall first-class context, but also in Ranji Trophy context. Why? Because Cheteshwar Pujara is now 2nd in the list of most number of Ranji Trophy double tons. He's behind only Paras Dogra, who of course has been playing first-class cricket since the early 2000s and has 9 double tons in Ranji Trophy. That still is the record, and Cheteshwar Pujara is now at 8, and of course could very well surpass that now. He was joint 2nd with Ajay Sharma, who also had 7 double tons in Ranji Trophy first-class cricket. But again, Pujara now very much only just a couple of tons away potentially from holding the record of his own accord. So pretty interesting. But beyond just these first-class records, it's also worth noting and understanding why it is these runs are so important right now. India have a 5-test series coming up at home against England. India's incumbent number 3 since the West Indies series has been Cheteshwar Pujara, Shubman Gill, who has not performed up to expectations at all in that role. In fact, he's had 4 tests now at this point in time, hasn't done well in any of those 4 tests. And given the fact that the England series is definitely must win in terms of India's World Test Championship preparations, could a recall for Pujara be so far off the mark? I mean, I understand the logic is that his recent test form hasn't been great, and especially so when you're looking at overseas conditions. But more often than not, Pujara has had a very good record in test cricket or first-class cricket in home conditions, so it might be an option worth considering. And even if it isn't, Pujara is doing everything he can to get his name up there when it comes to, you know, picking that squad and ensuring that his name could potentially be there. The best thing you can do as a batsman, the best currency you have to prove your worth is runs. And Pujara, as we just mentioned, is getting them in spades. And again, stranger things have happened in the world of Indian cricket. After all, you saw Ajinkya Rahane have a decent domestic season, then go on to score 2 noteworthy 50s in the IPL, get a recall. Pujara himself is someone who has shown in the past that he can make a comeback off the back of some strong showings in domestic cricket. It's just early days in the Ranji season yet, but you just know that with the team selection now being a priority when it comes to the Afghanistan series, we've done plenty of videos on that, but also what will India's test team for the 5 test series look like. You just know that if Pujara is getting runs, his name will at the very least be in the conversation, and that's the most he can do. But what are your thoughts on this matter? Do you think Pujara deserves a recall considering it's in home conditions, or do you think India should stick with Gill for now? You can let us know that in the comments below, as well as leave your praises for Pujara. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell icon as well. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and don't forget to download the Sportsbook app. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead, see some other videos we've done, and stay tuned. We've got plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.